Yo dudes!
Welcome to 5-minute delicious butterbean curry that's super wholesome, it's easy to make, and it literally costs you pennies.
This is one of the most popular recipes on our Happy Shape Challenge, which starts January 22nd. First up, I'm gonna serve this with some wholemeal couscous. Couscous literally takes 5 minutes to
Is that the
cook.
same as couscous?
Yeah, sorry.
Couscous,
in Ireland,
couscous.
we're not very good at pronouncing it, but couscous. So pinch of salt in there, and we're gonna go in with just boiled water. Just cover it literally about 1 centimeter over the meniscus, if you will. And I'm literally gonna cover it and allow the steam to cook it. And that'll be ready just as we go to serve our curry.
Great literally job at doing that, Stevie. Okay, we got a wide bottom pan on a high heat. We're gonna cook this with no oil because we wanna make this low in energy density. We want it packed with fiber, and we want a dish that really fills you up. This is a super filling, delicious curry.
So into the pan, there's some oyster mushrooms. I have approximately 150 grams. These are locally grown by our friend Stefan, and these are wonderful kind of texture bombs. And even if you don't like mushrooms, you might be surprised that you actually like oyster mushrooms.
Yeah, now they are hard to find. Sometimes you might be able to find them. So if you can't find them, just use whatever mushrooms you can find.
Portobello, chestnut, flat cap, button will all do fine, even shiitake.
Any type will work fine.
So, and don't worry, mushrooms are about 90% water, so these will cook down. Base flavors, we're gonna go with, I've got 1 nub of ginger.
And ginger is great for digestion, it really is. It's been proven in lots of studies to really help against nausea, PMS, and it's also in some studies have shown that it really helps in terms of speeding up your metabolic rate, which can aid in fat loss. So there you go.
Very good. And also, if you do see kind of knife skills here and you're going, I can't cook like that, on the course we do cover lots of elements such as recipes, basic knife skills, how to approach the kitchen.
And this is the Happy Shape course, in case you're wondering.
So in goes our ginger, and that's just going to help permeate the flavors in amongst the mushrooms.
We've got 2 cloves of fresh garlic. Garlic is incredible. It's packed with, it's part of the allium family. It's packed with allicin is the main compound in it, which is really super beneficial for your health in so many ways. We got 2 cloves, finely diced, that we're going to add to the pan, and it'll cook down and imbue its flavor to this dish.
Garlic does garlic does cook quicker than ginger, so we're going to pop it a little later. Chili, heat of any chili is in the seeds, so just be careful if you don't like it spicy. We're both Irish, weren't raised with a huge amount of chili.
I like spice. You're whatever way, you're a bit more sensitive to spice
Okay,
than
well
me.
we're going with half a chili anyway, one way or another, depending on which one is more tolerant. We're going to use green onions or scallions. A typical Indian stock is onion, garlic, ginger, and chili. Because this is a 5-minute dish, it's hard to get caramelization on the onions within 5 minutes. So we're using green onions, also known as scallions. I'm going to chop 3/4 of the onions and keep the remainder for garnish.
And if you find anything sticking to the bottom of the pan, just add a tiny little bit of water.
Why are we cooking with water, David, not oil?
So we're cooking with water because it's low in calories. It's got no calories at all. Whereas oil has 120 calories per tablespoon. So by leaving it out, we're making this lower in calories. And literally, by cutting out oil from your diet over the course of a week, you will typically save yourself 2,000 calories. And to burn 2,000 calories,
you would approximately have to run a marathon. So it's a small little change that just compounds over time.
Yeah, so I'm adding a little bit of oil, and this process is called deglazing, where I simply take off the flavor from the bottom of the pan and incorporate back into the dish. Okay, so we've cooked that down for about 2 to 3 minutes. It's nice, it's starting to brown. Okay, the perfect tamari is a wheat-free soy sauce. So if you don't tamari, you can use soy sauce. We're going with 2 tablespoons of tamari or soy sauce. This just really imparts the deep umami flavor into the mushrooms. The mushrooms are like sponges, they absorb it.
I've got 2 tablespoons of just a medium curry powder. And that's going to be just the base flavor of our curry. Don't worry about anything else. You can add more complexity if you want it, but that's just a lovely base seasoning. In on top of this, we've got 1 tin of butter beans, which we've drained and rinsed. So that's 250 grams of cooked butter beans and 250 grams of cooked lentils. They're both tins, they're both organic. They're high in fiber, they're high in nutrition, and they're really tasty.
They're really good at filling you up. Beans and lentils are high in protein, and they're great at filling you up. They're also medium density, so they're really good source of so many different nutrients.
In terms of sauce, we're going to go with 1 tin of chopped tomatoes, and we're going to go with 1 tin of light coconut milk. Dave, why would we go with light coconut milk?
So light coconut milk, also known as low-fat coconut milk, it's got half the amount of fat in it. Low-fat coconut milk has about 9 to 10% fat, whereas full fat coconut milk has somewhere between 19 and 20. So low fat is much better in general for your cardiovascular health and if you're concerned with weight in any sense.
In terms of finishing this off, one of the keys to good health is diversity, and the key to overall health is eat the rainbow. So here we're just putting in some frozen peas. So over the course we do talk about, this is our Happy Shape Challenge, we do talk about the importance over progress over perfection. And freezers are really practical, they minimize waste and they mean you always have access to veg, irrespective of the season.
Okay, final thing, we've got some coriander growing here and I'm going to incorporate lots of fresh coriander, also known as cilantro.
We'll go in with those green onions too on the top.
Yeah. Coriander, obviously use it if you like it. If you don't like it, for 9% of the population, genetically, it tastes like soap. So if you're one of those people, you don't need to use it. But it does add a nice pop of color and just adds that deep kind of coriander flavor, which is lovely and zesty and limey. And
here's our
hard to articulate.
Fluffy couscous. Take a fork and just fluff it. Fluff, 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 fluff.
Beautiful.
Fluff.
And final thing, which is super, super important, is to taste and season. So what we will always say is no amount of fancy cooking technique will make up for an under-seasoned dish.
What are the base flavors?
Base flavors, you're going to start with salt. Salt is the 5 basic flavors are salt, sweet, bitter, acidic, and umami. We're going to start with salt. The coconut is probably bringing a sweet. The bitter is probably coming from the green onions. We've got a bit of sweet coming from the coconut milk and the tomato. And then I've got a bit of lime there to put in the acidic.
I'm going to put a little bit of black pepper.
Half a teaspoon of salt.
Juice of half a lime, that's going to bring a bit of acid that'll help cook through the sweet of the coconut.
And it can just help balance the flavors. And there we go, folks. It's brought to the boil, dish is ready, knock it off. Boom, there you have it. Delicious 5-minute butterbean curry with oyster mushrooms. This is so tasty, so easy to make. It literally costs you a few euro to make per portion. And it's packed with nutrition. So we're gonna serve this with our whole milk couscous, ladle it on. It's full of flavor and nutrition. It does freeze well, so it's part of a meal prep. It works great eating the next day for lunch.
You just see how beautiful it is, just the texture, the variety, the creaminess of that sauce.
2 things we want to share with you before we finish up. We've got our Happy Shape Challenge. It's starting January the 22nd.
What is it? Tell me about it.
It's a 4-week challenge to transform your health. It's with a doctor that specialises in weight loss, a dietitian ourselves. It's a 4-week program where there'll be hundreds of people going through it. We will hold your hand. We've had thousands of people through it. It's all food-based. You can eat as much as you want. There's no calorie count, no portion control. It's all whole food, plant-based.
And it's about reaching your happy
So there's a link for that down below. And the second thing we want to tell you about is we've launched our recipe club, which is amazing. It's where we've got more than 600 plus delicious plant-based recipes with new recipes added every week. There's yoga, there's workouts, there's breath work, there's so much.
And most important, there's a really active and supportive tribe to help you sustain a healthy way of life.
So there's a link for that, and that literally costs you the price of a cup of coffee per month. So it's literally $2.99 per month, so it's very affordable. So there's a link for that as well down in the description. So thank you for making it this far in the video. We really appreciate it. And we really wish you all the best with cooking this delicious meal and for eating as much whole plant foods as you can. Thanks a million.
Bye.